Big Little Lies season 2 wrapped up 2 weeks ago now. Um, man, interesting season 2. So we covered the first episode, maybe first 2 episodes,
First one.
I think. First episode. And uh it had this moment in the middle. What was it? The episode 4, because it's a 7 episode season. The end of episode 4, it was a short episode, had this really like dramatic ending where it was like cutting to a lot of different things, kind of left you with like all these like questions and kind of wondering, oh, where's this going? And then it felt like it came to a pretty anticlimactic ending, and I'm kind of left wondering the same question I feel about one of the movies we'll be talking about. Did we need this? Did we need a second season of this? Was this really how we wanted the show to come back? I feel like it kind of lost sight of what really made the show great. I see you laughing, so I'm guessing you're kind of on the same page with this.
The first question everyone asked is the last one everyone asked. Did we need this? And the answer is the same. No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Big Little Lies season 2, man. It just it did not justify the need to return. Like season 1, I liked it more than you, but I think most people would agree it was pretty tightly told story, partially because it's adapting Leanne Moriarty's novel. But it felt, of a piece. And Jean-Marc did a good job with that. And everyone likes to see all these actors. That's the main appeal is the breadth of movie A-list talent. And it was successful. And it won a fuck ton of Emmys the first time around. eight of the 16 it was nominated for. And then having season 2 come back, I expressed optimism when we talked about the premiere because it looked like they were giving Bonnie more to do, for example, someone who got the short shrift for the most part in season 1. And obviously having Meryl Streep join your television show sells itself. Yet, the story was, I don't know, kind of thin, man. Like, the whole thing with the investigation is dropped pretty quickly. It doesn't actually matter. Really, this season is more about the other lies they're all telling to themselves or their significant others or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And having it not actually be about will they get away with the murder and having it deal with Mary Louise trying to take away Nicole Kidman's kids. Well, again, I like Mary Louise a lot. She was fucking detestable. Great performance. She did her best to save the season, but it just it was a tough hang at times. And I say that just because I didn't say I never really disliked the show. Again, all these actors are just so compulsively watchable and really fun. And Laura Dern, though, is Renata is just for the memes in season 2,
Mm-hmm.
But at surface level, shallow take, that's still fun to enjoy. I'll enjoy the memes. I'll enjoy watching her freak the fuck out and break toys and shit. But it felt like Madeline did not have a whole lot to do this season at all, beyond go through some very vague conflict with Adam Scott that is resolved, so they say, yet not really sure how.
I mean, she found his text with him and that woman, so it's obviously not.
Honestly, you know what? Right. Oh, shout out a fake boob woman who goes away. Okay.
No, she came back and was like, "Yeah,
that's right. Just
don't gotta complicate it. Let's just do it. Maybe we'll like it." I was like, "Wow,
shoot your shot." I respect it. But honestly, what was a tough hang was Bonnie. Again, I love Zoe Kravitz. She's great. But having her just be running in the woods or sad and moping around at home or in a hospital room, it's just not fun to watch. And also, it's a bit concerning that they do not explore something that she wanted to explore in season 2, the fact that she's the only person of color seemingly in the town of Monterey, which is probably kind of accurate. And also, I think even worse is that when her mom comes around, she's the stereotypical mystical black person. We've seen that a lot. It's it just wasn't the greatest look, but even more importantly, the storyline was just weak. And man, I'd never really had a hard time watching the show, but the David E. Kelly scripts, man, just felt like they were really lacking, and that makes a lot of sense considering all the behind the scenes stuff the IndieWire broke regarding the HBO taking away the show from Andrea Arnold after she shot the show, and basically having Jean-Marc Vallée come back in and just cut it up. And I mean, there's 11 editors credited on the show. That's kind of a lot, but it stood out. And I don't really care for a season 3 just because I don't know where we're supposed to go from here.
Yeah.
So disappointed.
It's funny because your point about the conflict and just the writing on the show feeling thin it's definitely a great point. But I think what made season 1 so much fun, I mean, it had some deeper themes. It had obviously the abuse going on between Alexander Skarsgård and Nicole Kidman. But what people liked was just the ridiculousness of it, and the moments where it's like Renata versus Madeline, them trying to like one up each other in these ludicrous ways, like through their kids and
being absurd moms at school, shit like
and
that.
Yeah, and I almost feel like them teaming up and having like one big bad and Meryl Streep, who really wasn't. I mean, like she was like a big bad, I guess, but I don't know. The conflict was mostly between just her and Nicole Kidman and these people on the peripheral. It felt kind of like you're taking away the heartbeat of the show, which is that you should be pitting these women against each other and letting them like do ridiculous stuff. And them being all on the same team, I think, took a real element out of it that was a driving force. There's still those ridiculous moments like that, especially with Renata trying to maintain her image of wealth, which I actually think were probably some of the most fun moments. Her smashing the stuff in the room, her having that ridiculous like 60s party or 70s party at her house. Like those moments were fun. But the moments where it's like Madeline trying to get Ed back, or Jane and her boyfriend, or like you said, Bonnie and her mom and everything with that, it just felt like a tough hang a lot of the time. And
yeah, I agree. It just need to be more soapy,
Yeah, seriously.
More drama. And even if they're all on the same side, okay, we all expected the investigation to perhaps provide that drama, and it just didn't.
No.
And having them walk in at the end to turn themselves in together, I thought was a nice way to wrap it up considering where they took it, but just does kind of feel like a half measure in terms of we're not going to actually explore this at all because it's all about the lies we told along the way, man. And it's I just wanted to be more dramatic than it was. And again, I like all these actors, but it's just underwhelming. And I don't know how much of Andrea Arnold's original cut would have changed this, considering it was still David E. Kelly scripts. But it's interesting, this averaged 41% more viewers per episode. About 12 million people would watch the show every week, counting all the different measures. So still very much a hit for HBO. And next year, I'm sure they'll run it all in the limited series. Well, in Emmys, it's not a limited series anymore, but you figure Meryl Streep is a lock to get nominated at the very least. But I just kind of lost my excitement for it as it went on, even if I wasn't hating what I was watching or anything like that. Also, shout out Shailene's bangs; they're horrendous throughout the whole show. But whatever.
Did you know Nicole Kidman always wears wigs?
Sometimes they stand out. Was she wearing a wig in this?
Apparently, that's what I found out.
Okay.
No idea. I actually don't know if I know what her hair looks like.